Ok, buonasera, buongiorno, ciao. After around a couple of million years without posting on YouTube, I decided to do a Q&A and I asked you questions. So I'm gonna read some of the most salient ones and answer them at random. The biggest critique I get on any social media platform is that I need to connect more with you guys. So what I did is I got you to send me random questions for a Q&A, and this is going to be my very first 2024 YouTube reintroduction. So allow me to reintroduce myself. To be honest, I have your questions right here and I'm just gonna be randomly answering them in no particular order. Let's see what you got for me. What other career would you have in mind other than the one you're doing? So currently, I, of course, do content creation. I also have my own branding consultancy business. And, I wrote a book. It's called Why You Should Empower Yourself. And I do some public speaking too. What other career? I've tried so many things in my life. I've tried investment banking after university. I also tried acting and very, very briefly modeling. By the way, there's a huge misconception that I'm a model. I've tried modeling maybe a few times when I was a teenager and I realized very quickly it's not for me because modeling is very hard. You have to, go and be in agencies, go to castings relentlessly. It's absolutely not as glamorous as you might imagine. And you don't have a say on anything. On how your hair is going to be, your makeup, what type of character you got to portray in the campaign or in the magazine or in the shoot, in the video, whatever you're doing, you're literally realizing the desire of the client, who could be a designer, a brand, etc. Same with acting in a way. I'm a very controlling person. I am an alpha, I guess. I'm somebody who likes to call the shots, and it's very hard for me to conform fully to the creativity of someone else because I'm also very creative. So for me, being an entrepreneur, a digital entrepreneur, a content creator is so much more fitted. I feel so comfortable. I feel in my element. I feel wonderful. So my type of work is definitely, entrepreneurial and where I can call the shots. That's why I've never been a model, despite working with a lot of brands and being the face of a lot of brands and content creating for brands, of course, which I absolutely adore and love. The creativity, the control, everything from A to Z comes from me and our organization. It doesn't really come from a rigid brand brief and organization. So it's very, very different as a job. It's more creative, entrepreneurial, but also, of course, it has downsides. It depends on your personality. What other career I have in mind? It's tough. I always think I love to be exposed to founders and companies. So maybe something like an innovative type of VC or something that exposes me to a lot of ideas, companies. I love consulting. That's why I love branding consulting and my company in that sense, because it allows me to meet very entrepreneurial, cool, interesting people. Random thought while I was talking that oftentimes I get this critique online that I'm not relatable. I don't know if you want to hear about these things, guys. I don't think they're fun for you. But yeah, here I am talking about them, how much I love founders and entrepreneurial stuff. And yeah, I don't think that's so relatable, but if you want to hear about my opinions, here I am. I hope it's not too boring. Daniela is asking me how to manifest when everything seems to be going against you. So in my opinion, if everything's going against you, you're really in the wrong spiral. Everything's energy and your energy, we're all made of energy. So if you're in the wrong spiral, you're in this negative spiral, you just need to stop and get out of it. The sooner you get out of it, the sooner you stop this, spiraling down, the best. When you just wake up and, I don't know how to say it in English, it's like, you start the day from the wrong foot. I don't know if that's Italian or English, but you know what I mean. When you do that, you kind of like everything seems to be going wrong. And that's where you have to stop and think about something positive and really, really focus on the positive. even if it doesn't feel natural, and it won't, you must do that. Just be happy, be grateful for whatever you have, because you always end up attracting the energy that you emit. So yeah, we are vibrational beings, I guess. How to be successful, someone's asking me. Well, it depends in what, but usually it's a mixture of habits, planning, hard work, and a burning desire. And just keep trying. You have to fail and fail again and learn from it. You cannot be successful. Like, success is not something that comes overnight. It's an accumulation of small things that you keep doing that create momentum. And the more you do them, and the more momentum you get. And then at some point it explodes. And everybody looks at you and thinks, oh my God, he or she got so lucky. But in reality, you've been working for it your whole life. It just happened to explode or accelerate in a certain moment. How to be more confident? Someone else, the same question. What's your secret to confidence? In my book, Why You Should Empower Yourself, I have a whole chapter of tricks and tips on how to become confident, but I think it's this unwavering belief in yourself that does not really depend on external circumstances. Of course, it's important to do things that give you that confidence. So every little step that you do that is an effort, and you know that because of that effort you succeeded, let's say, I don't know, don't you feel a little bit better about yourself when you clean your room or the kitchen? Don't you feel a little bit better when you go to the gym? And you didn't really feel like it, but you did go to the gym. So these tiny things and habits of discipline can help develop confidence in yourself. But the real true confidence doesn't really come from achievements. In my opinion, it comes from this feeling of belief in yourself that doesn't depend on anything else. That, I guess, you can boost through inner work, through self-talk. You gotta talk to yourself really positively. Try to always stop yourself if you're insulting yourself at any point, and try to do some mirror work. Give yourself as much encouragement as you can, even if it doesn't feel natural at the beginning. Just keep doing it. Do it for a while and let me know how it goes. Your independence and cultural mix are incredible. I love the way you are. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oftentimes, actually, my independence alienates people. I feel like people don't like it sometimes in me. When people have like ego issues or feel a little bit insecure, they don't like me. Even if I'm super nice and I'm humble and I'm sweet to them, and all I want, honestly, for them is just, you know, positive things. I never want something negative. Like, it's not like, it doesn't come from me. I notice that people who are insecure tend to dislike me because my, you know, confidence or energy upsets them. Not that I can do much about it, but, you know, it's something that annoys me because I feel that it's a little bit unfair. Because all I want is to be nice to them. And about the cultural mix, I always say it, and I say it again. Of course, I live in London. Of course, I'm Swiss Italian from Lugano. And I have origins from my parents in Russia and Ukraine. However, because of my name, Ksenia Chumi, my full name is actually Ksenia Chumicheva. But I changed it because English speakers cannot pronounce it. Italian speakers, German speakers pronounce it perfectly, but English speakers really struggle, really struggle to pronounce it. So I changed it to Chumi because it's a little bit easier. It's still tough, but it's easier. So my name and my last name are obviously Eastern European. And despite everything, despite all my, you know, blood and looks, I really don't have much of that culture. I like the culture. I find it super rich, super beautiful. There's a lot of great literature and history. However, I don't really belong to Eastern Europe, and then I upset people when I say that, but that's a fact. It's not like I decided, I chose it. I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I'm this, but I don't like this. No, this is just how I grew up. I grew up Italian, Northern Italian. That's what I am. I'm from Lugano. It's on the border. I grew up in Lugano, Como, and Milan. That's all there is to it, and that's who I am. I'm Northern Italian culturally, and it's where you form yourself, your formative years. It's what matters, you know, childhood and adolescence. That's it. Then, of course, I moved out in my 20s and I went to New York, London, whatever. Here I am. But the formative years are what matters. And, you know, my first language is Italian, my food is Italian, my cartoon references are from the Italian television. Anything you ask me, all my schools were in Italian. So, yeah, this is where I'm from. Also, I'm very Latin somehow, personality-wise, but that's a different story. Latin America is something that I feel very close to me as well. You know, I spend a lot of time in the Dominican Republic, but that's not because I'm Dominican. That's because I'm a Northern Italian who loves the Dominican Republic. And now someone's gonna ask, why Northern Italian? You don't like the South? Of course I love the South. It's not about what I like. I love Russia and Ukraine too, and I love the southern Italy, and I love Switzerland, and I love England. But I'm letting you know, just, you know, who I happen to be. I didn't choose it. It's who I am. Because people don't get it straight away, unless they're Italian, then they do. But if they're not Italian, it's really hard to explain also. You know, online I speak English because I have a very large international audience, and I can't alienate a part of my audience. I need you guys to understand me. That is why sometimes I struggle to explain my identity, but I keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it, and sooner or later maybe it will click. What's your career breakthrough moment that you had to swift your success? I guess what they mean by that is, what was the moment I realized, I don't know, that I was famous? I was in Switzerland on national television. I was 18 years old, and I did the Miss Switzerland contest, and I did not win. I was first runner-up. I was super happy with the result, and I thought, that's it, it's a great experience, it's over. I'm gonna go back home and start my uni in Milan. And I remember on the next day, my best friend picked me up, and we were just driving through Switzerland. It was, I think, Geneva or Zurich, and we stopped at a shop on a highway, and I realized that I was basically on all of the covers of those newspapers, and I was like, what the hell, it's me. It was a very, very surreal feeling, but that was the moment I knew that there was a shift. And then from that day onwards, it became relentless for many years. And yeah, it was that moment on which, you know, the momentum of work that I started when I was like 12, you know, I was already in pictures and doing creative work when I was 12, 13, 14, 15. It kind of accumulated, and when I was, you know, 18, 19, it really exploded into national success. And then the rest is history. I've pivoted careers many times. I was in investment banking, I graduated in economics, I even tried acting, I did some schools, and what else did I do? I mean, I was the face of brands, I was writing for many magazines, I had my own TV show about business, and what else? And then I left everything to start my own digital magazine and content creation, which, thanks to social media, I would say my whole entrepreneurial life changed, and I am beyond grateful for it. And I'm beyond grateful for you guys for being interested in what I have to say, or my pictures, or whatever, my life. Someone said, I think you can start making a podcast about your opinion of life. That sounds profound. I'd love that. I don't know. Shall we just start with these tiny YouTube videos and see how it goes?